Well, the government recently announced a Royal Commission into aged care. Prime Minister Scott Morrison says it's the first step in re-establishing the trust Australians need to have in the sector. Moving into aged care can be a frightening time for the elderly and their families. But what happens if they commit to moving somewhere new only to discover it's not right? Well, now you can try before you buy when it comes to aged care, which could save you from making a very costly mistake.
And here to explain, the principal of Aged Care Gurus, Rachel Lane. Good morning to you, Rachel.
Good morning.
Good to talk to you. We're in an ageing population, we know there, so aged care is something that we all need to know about and to have a plan with.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you touched on, you can try before you buy. There's lots of choices out there, so make sure you explore them and get the one that's right for you.
One of the things I've heard, Rachel, about people that are contemplating going into aged care or know they're going to have to end up in aged care is that they start thinking about it too late. Is that your experience?
That's right, yeah. People don't plan for aged care and they don't have those conversations with their family members, and so often decisions are being made in haste. So people are making decisions while somebody's in a hospital bed being told, look, it's really not safe for them to go home. You don't generally make the best decisions under those sort of pressures. So people should really plan ahead, have those conversations with their family. This time of year is what we call aged care season, where families come together and they do start noticing that mum or dad or both are not quite coping. So have those conversations and talk about what help would you like to receive, where would you like to receive it, would you like to keep living in your own home or would you like to move into a residential aged care facility?
Understandably, there can be a lot of fear about moving into a residential facility, aged care facility. There's this great idea of try before you buy, which sounds so obvious.
Yeah.
But how does this work?
Okay, so in the industry they call it respite, and respite is really designed to give carers a break. But people who are eligible to have respite can get up to 9 weeks a year, and it's only $51 a day. That includes all of your accommodation, all of your meals, all of your care, all of the activities. So it really is very affordable. You don't have to make an accommodation payment, you don't need to pay a means-tested care fee, but it's the perfect way to try before you buy because you get to know the other staff, the residents, the food, the activities, the care that's going to be delivered to you, and work out if you like it before you commit hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Can you save a lot of money by pre-planning and being ahead of the curve?
Absolutely. We had clients just last week and they came to see one of my advisors just by moving on separate days. So they're a husband and a wife. Just by moving the husband in on the first day and the wife in on the second day, they saved $200,000.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. We're just looking at some of the points here for choosing the best aged care. Try before you buy that you've discussed. If you don't like it, you can leave. Crunch the numbers, and cheap doesn't mean affordable, and get advice.
Yeah, absolutely. How much you pay and the way in which you pay for your aged care can impact on your pension entitlement, your cash flow, your estate planning wishes, even on the cost of care itself. So it's so important that you get advice from someone who specialises.
Yeah, who do you get advice from and know that they then don't have a vested interest?
Yeah, so we have a national network of financial advisors who specialise in this area, and they can give people advice on everything from granny flats, home care, retirement villages, land lease communities, as well as residential aged care.
We've heard the Prime Minister say that he thinks the Royal Commission will help people regain trust in the sector. Do you think that will happen?
Look, it's a very welcome thing, the Royal Commission, but people can't delay making decisions about aged care. The final report on the Royal Commission isn't due until 2020, and if you need to make decisions about aged care, you can't wait for that. So that's why we're talking about, try before you buy and getting advice to make sure that people who need to make those decisions now feel empowered to do that.
Well, it's good advice, isn't it? And
Sure is.
Bring on the Royal Commission, because we know that while there are some good providers out there, there are also a lot of charlatans and some terrible rip-offs that are taking place. Rachel, great to see you, Principal of Aged Care Gurus. We'll put all of the details on our website. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, guys.
Really appreciate it.